currently on a journey of self-discovery and self-improvement, and I want to become the best version of myself and achieve the life that I know that I'm capable of. And this is a really big challenge, a really big goal, and it would be tough for anybody, but to make it even better, I just have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
0, 1. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Sienna. Welcome to my channel where I am currently trying to figure out what the heck is going on in my life and in the world. Life, my sense of self, other people, I don't know what's happening, and I'm trying to figure that out. If they ever gave out a handbook on being human, I missed that day. So now I'm just trying to figure out everything all on my own, and I would love if you would join me. So I want to start off by saying when I was growing up, I got a lot of advice from my mom. She was an orphan who essentially raised herself and became this awesome, badass entrepreneur. She was my hero, she was an awesome mom, and she really had a lot of great advice about what in life is most important. And she always told me all that really matters is family, being with the people you love, and doing what you love. None of the other shit that people tell you, like money and power and fame and whatever, which I've carried those values throughout my life. But unfortunately, as much good advice as my mom gave me, she never had to deal with this extreme level of anxiety that I deal with on a daily basis. Don't know where it came from. I really wish I was like my mom. I really wish I had her level of confidence. I'm amazed that she was able to like grow into that all by herself without any support. I had all the support in the world, and I am like just an anxious wreck all of the time. So she was always confident in herself and her abilities, and me, not so much. Now that my mom is gone, I've been in a pretty tough spot. A lot of my beliefs and my sense of empowerment came from talking to my mom and advice that my mom would give me. And now I'm alone, basically. I still have lots of friends and family who will of course support me and encourage me, but it's just not the same as that relationship I had with my mom. Other people's advice doesn't quite hit the same. So now, even with all of these wonderful people around me, I'm kind of alone on this journey. I have to figure it all out for myself. And I know it's probably not a great thing that I got so much of my self-esteem from my mom. Like, that sounds super codependent, but it is what it is. My brain is just wired. My brain is just wired that way. I notice that I seek a lot of outside validation. I hate making decisions on my own, and I really just want an outside opinion all the time. I can't pick anything for myself without asking someone first if they also think it's a good idea, which I really want to get away from that. And what needs to happen now is I need to become the person that has the power to uplift me like my mom did, right? So I need to become a version of my mom for myself, if that makes sense. Which is scary because, once again, I have no idea what I'm doing. But the truth is there's no one else who can do it. It's just me. It's up to me. The only person who can save you is you, right? And I feel like that's a really big burden to put on yourself all at once. It's like saying, all right, well, you have to do better right now, or else like your whole life is over, or, you know, you need to figure this all out in one go, or you'll be stuck like this. Like, let's figure it out so we don't have to feel like this anymore. And I think it's important that we start smaller, right? You can't possibly become the best version of yourself in a single day, a single week, a month, a year even, right? Like, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to be a very, very gradual change. And I think it's also important to remember, at least for myself, like how much I'm currently dealing with. Like, I'm still grieving the loss of my mom, right? I live in a world that I was never prepared for, and there just is no perfect answer to any of this. No one knows what they're doing. There is no perfect strategy to getting through life, right? Like, everyone has different coping strategies, and one that works for one person is not going to work for the other. I've been watching a lot of self-help and self-improvement stuff lately, like a lot of different YouTube stuff and, you know, podcasts, that sort of thing. And it's honestly so frustrating how repetitive and unhelpful it is at times. Like, there's a lot of good stuff, but a lot of it is just like, I don't know, I could have figured this out myself by thinking about it for 5 minutes. Like, I didn't need to find a video to tell me. It's stuff like, well, you want to feel more confident? Just do things you're scared to do. Like, okay, I'm scared to do most things. Like, I'm scared recording this video right now. I'm doing it anyway, and I'm sure over time I'll start to feel better about it. I'll start getting more confident. It'll be easier. Like, I already think talking in front of the camera, I do a lot better, right? But that's not like a fast, quick change. I know there won't be one, but there are just a lot of little things in life where it's going to be so hard to just do it. You know what I mean? Another example I see a lot is like, if you want to be unbothered by other people, like you want to not care what other people think, right? And the advice you'll hear is, oh, well, just stop thinking about them, or like think about how cool you are instead. Like I hear a lot of the time, be obsessed with yourself. Like just think about how cool you are and how you're just getting better all the time, and like all of these good things about yourself. Just like that's what your mind needs to be filled with all the time. But my problem is like my brain is constantly jumping from thing to thing. Like it's never quiet in there. I'm always reflecting on myself. I'm always asking why people do the things they do. Like I just don't think my brain is capable of like going through an entire workday just thinking, ooh, I'm so cool, I'm so awesome, like I'm gonna get everything that I want. I don't know. That's just as much as I might try. Like I've gotten better at like, instead of sitting around and asking myself, oh, why were they rude to me, or did they give me the cold shoulder, I go, don't worry about it, that's just, they are showing off loser behavior. I don't need to worry about people who engage in loser behavior, you know? So it kind of works, but it's also just like, yeah, I can't spend all day thinking, ooh, I'm so awesome, everyone else sucks. So I don't need to worry about anyone else. I need more stimulation throughout the day than that, I guess. My brain is never quiet. Like I remember having my first existential crisis when I was 4. Like this stuff it's not gonna go away that easily. And like honestly, if a customer at my job tells me that I'm ugly and bad at my job, the last thing that's going to come to my mind in that moment is like a mantra of how awesome I am. Oh yeah, they said this really mean thing to me, but don't worry, I'm super cool and awesome and everyone thinks so. Like that's just not, why would I care about what a loser in a beater car with no job coming through my coffee drive-thru thinks? I shouldn't, I know I shouldn't, but at the same time, I am a delicate little flower and that hurt my feelings. And I think it's okay to have feelings. It's just about being able to kind of let that go more efficiently, and that's what we're working on, right? Anyway, I've been hearing a lot of the same advice, and none of it has quite hit me in the way that I would like it to. Some of these things I've been incorporating into my life, as I've mentioned, but you know, it's going to take time. It's not going to be fixed overnight. And one of the things that I've heard a few times now is to begin acting like the person that you want to become. So just pretend you already are that person. And I really do like this advice to an extent. Like if you want to be an aesthetic Pilates girly, then you start acting like an aesthetic Pilates girly, right? So you get up early, you work out, you do your Pilates, you wear athleisure wear, you drink matcha, whatever you picture in your head a Pilates girl would do, that's what you do, right? And I like that advice, right? And I think that's a good way to start. The problem is I don't exactly know who I want to be. Like I have elements in my head of who I want the best version of Sienna to be, but the picture as a whole is kind of fuzzy. Like it's not as simple as, ooh, I want to be, you know, a Pilates girly pop. I just have attributes that I'm drawn to that I would like to see more in myself. Like I want to be more confident and assertive. I want to be able to advocate for myself and be honest about who I am, rather than feeling the urge to hide my true self in order to appease others. And I really just want to have more fun and feel a sense of freedom, right? It's my life, I want to live it. I'm just so like bound by societal rules, even though I think they're stupid. Just like I can't get over the fear of like, oh, if I do something I'll be ostracized, you know what I mean? Or like I'll go to jail. I don't know. I don't know, have you ever tried doing things that a free person would do? It's like even trying to think of something kind of makes my anxiety spike. And I also just find the place that I live in extremely limiting. When I imagine my dream life, for example, I imagine traveling a lot, exploring different areas of different cities, experience just different art, different culture, meeting new people, having long intellectual conversations, and making art all the time. Like, just being creative in general, like, that's where I would like to be, right? And I've lived in the same place almost my entire life, so I know everybody here, and I've done every activity here at least twice. So again, just where do you start when you don't know where to start? Somewhere in my self-improvement research rabbit hole, I saw the advice that you should act like your favorite character from a movie. And I really like this core concept. I'm a big film nerd. I wanted to be an actress for a long time growing up, and this just makes sense to me. I've often left movies feeling like I wanted to act like one of my favorite characters, and I've felt inspired and optimistic after leaving the film because of something that happened, right? Film just generally makes me feel a little more passionate about life. Like, I love that feeling, and I would love to like continue having that feeling. And when I originally came up with the concept for this video, I wanted to make a series where I would live like some of my favorite characters for a few days. And for my first video, I wanted to emulate Bridget Jones from Bridget Jones's Diary. Bridget goes from being this insecure wallflower who's constantly belittled and pushed around by her family and friends and co-workers, and she eventually becomes this confident, proud woman who always goes after what she wants in life. And so I was like, perfect, that is a perfect place to start. Like, I would love to emulate that. That's exactly that's a good starting point for me and where I'm at. I relate, and it doesn't seem like a crazy big leap, right? I'm not trying to become, I don't know, like a Kardashian overnight. And I really just appreciate how Bridget never really stops being awkward or clumsy, but instead she just embraces that part of herself. Like, that's who I am. I'm kind of, you know, I put my foot in my mouth all the time, but yeah, that's just a part of the charm. So I really tried spending my time living like Bridget. And then it went, like a week went by and I still hadn't done anything interesting enough for a video. But I continued imagining myself as Bridget, and I would constantly ask myself, what would Bridget do, to try and like just spark that energy into my daily activities. But the thing is, Bridget isn't really that interesting of a person. And that's kind of the point. Bridget is a normal girl with a normal life. She doesn't want anything big or crazy. She just wants to have fun and meet the right person to spend her life with. And it's really difficult to make like a YouTube video doing all the boring life stuff and making it as interesting as it is in Bridget Jones's Diary and the whole series. Especially when you're like me and you have a nice healthy relationship and you're not in like a series of love triangles. So I tried coming up with all of these concepts that had Bridget Jones energy or were similar to what Bridget does in her movies. Like, she always seems to be making big speeches and messing them up or having awkward meet cutes at big events, but I don't have any events to go to. I don't have any speeches to make, so that was like crossed off right away. I thought about doing like a little montage series of like trying to get my life together, like cleaning up my room or like trying to get organized in some way, getting a lot of work done. I thought about doing like lots of exercise or some sort of self-care routine. Like, I feel like she usually has a moment where she's like, you know what, stop feeling sorry for yourself, we're gonna like get it together, and then she, you know, loses some weight and starts eating healthy, whatever. I even thought about trying to mess up cooking somehow, like that time she accidentally made blue soup. But the thing is, I'm a really great cook, so it would be a waste just to mess up dinner for the sake of messing up dinner. And I already exercise regularly, and I didn't really want to do extra exercise, and I don't know, something about recording a bunch of exercise just doesn't seem interesting to me. I just have so much on my plate at home right now. I just didn't know where to start with these kinds of Bridget activities. Quite honestly, I didn't want to do a lot of these things, which entirely defeats the purpose of this video, right? Like, it's a self-improvement journey. I should be doing the things that I want to be doing. I would like to have some of the same characteristics as Bridget, but I don't want to become Bridget, right? So instead, I thought we would talk about the things that I have learned from Bridget Jones throughout this little experiment of mine, and how we can incorporate her lessons into our own lives. Spending the last few weeks asking myself what would Bridget Jones do was actually surprisingly insightful. Yeah, here's what I learned from Bridget Jones. Don't let other people get you down. And this is something that I really struggle with, especially recently at my job. I'm a chronic people pleaser, and I get the vibe that Bridget is too. Throughout her story, Bridget realizes that she's been allowing the opinions of others to greatly influence her own life. I think over time she realizes that other people shouldn't be able to dictate how she lives her own life. People tell her that she's unattractive, and they constantly ask her why she's single. Some of them even suggest, like, if you just lose weight and get your shit together, like, maybe you'll find someone. And I really love that Bridget, she doesn't take this shit for long. Like, I feel like in the first movie, this happens for like 10 minutes and she's like, you know what? No. And Bridget knows that she's beautiful, she's charismatic, she's intelligent, she's kind, she has a lot to offer the world, and rather than listen to all of these, put downs that everyone has for her, she projects confidence onto herself. She goes after what she wants in life. She goes after the men she wants, she goes after the friends she wants, she goes for work opportunities, and she won't let anyone else dictate what she deserves out of life. And that's how I think we should be too. That's how I would like to be. I don't know why I get so caught up in what other people must think of me, and it doesn't matter. It's like, I know what I'm good at. I know that I'm cute. I know that I'm kind. I know that I have so much to offer the world, so why do I stifle myself just because some certain people in my current vicinity might not appreciate it? Why should anyone else be able to make me feel like I'm bad at my job, or that I'm weird or antisocial or whatever? I know that I'm not those things. I know that I'm good at my job. I know that I'm weird in a good way. I know that I'm not antisocial. I just don't have time for boring bullshit and people who are fucking fake, No one else knows what we're capable of. The only people who know that it's ourselves. We know what we're capable of. No one else gets to decide. And I think we need to act like it. I know I definitely need to stand tall and be confident in my own ability, right? I think Bridget also teaches us the only person who can make you feel embarrassed is yourself. Bridget does a lot of dumb shit across all 4 movies. It's a comedy after all. She wears the wrong outfits, she says the wrong things, and she makes big mistakes, right? And despite how cringe she can often be, Bridget never falters. She embraces her weirdness, she admits her mistakes. She knows these moments don't define who she is, so why let them bother her? So I think we should be like Bridget. Let these moments roll off your back. You show up to an event way overdressed, who cares? Keep your head held high. Everyone else is just underdressed. You slip on the sidewalk and everyone sees your underwear. Great, now everyone knows what a great ass you have. Be weird. Make mistakes. Being super cringe does not make you less of a person. The people who love you won't love you any less just because you did something socially unacceptable. No one's going to remember it except for you, and that's only if you choose to. The people who dislike you already dislike you. Let them. Don't let it bother you. Who cares? You can't be liked by everyone, and everyone else is more worried about themselves and the perception of themselves than they are about you. So let it go. Be you for you. I constantly feel under pressure to be the person that I feel other people want me to be. I've gotten better, but I still really struggle sometimes. It's a work in progress for sure. I feel insecure a lot of the time that I don't have a real job. I do the videos. I was job hopping for about a year where I just could not find the right thing for myself. And now I'm working as a part-time barista, which is so much better. I still have my issues, but like, at least I'm not completely fucking miserable like I was a year ago. And, I want to make YouTube my full-time career, which a lot of people just immediately frown upon because they say, oh, well, what makes you so special? Like, why do you think you can do it? No one's able to do that. And it's like, well, the difference is consistency. I want this for myself, so I'm gonna get it, right? And why do I care so much about what other people might want from me? I don't want to work 40 hours a week at a job that I hate with people that I can't stand. I don't want to be exhausted my only 2 weeks off, or my only 2 days off per week, and not be able to like do anything because I'm just tired and depressed all the time. The only benefit is having more money, maybe, but even then it's like, okay, well, I have more money, but I don't get to spend any of it because I'm always at work and I'm always tired. So it doesn't fucking matter. Right now I'm living like well within or even under my means. Like, I'm planning for a wedding, so like that's expensive, but For the most part, I'm not spending any fucking money, and it's fine. I'm focusing on myself, I'm growing, and I think that's what this period of life is about, right? So yeah, should I be exhausting myself and working in a job environment that I don't want to be in just because that's what everyone else is doing? Fucking no. Bridget Jones reminds us that we only have one life. We should be spending it the way that we want to, not the way that other people tell us to. Bridget sleeps around despite being deemed unattractive. She quits her job where she's constantly overlooked by her sexist bosses. She goes after the man of her dreams despite the world telling her that she'll be rejected. And she has a baby despite being single. And she raises her children despite the grief of losing her husband. Spoilers for Bridget Jones 4, by the way, and 3, and all of them. Bridget does not let the world around her dictate her life. Bridget Jones lives her life for herself and the people that she loves, and that's what we need to do too. We also should be comfortable with being alone. No matter what happens in life, you will always be able to take care of yourself. And in this life, people will come and go, and there's just nothing we can do about that. But you will always have yourself. So be kind to yourself. Learn to love yourself, and as frustrated as you might get at times, you have always been there for yourself. So learn to encourage yourself and lift yourself up. It's a skill, it has to be worked on, but you can get there, right? I can get there, you can get there. No one else knows what you need when you're feeling down, but you do. So just learn to be there for yourself. And it's hard and it's scary, but you can do it. We can do it. And we've made it this far, so we can go even further. And Bridget reminds us that no matter how hard life gets, no matter how alone you feel, you can get through anything. You won't be alone forever, and you will always find people who cherish you and that you love just as much. They'll love you for exactly who you are and who you're going to be. So don't worry about what anyone else fucking thinks. They don't matter. You matter. And being alone is far better than being surrounded by a bunch of fake people who don't give a shit about you. Learn to be content with loneliness when it happens, but remember it won't be forever. And it's okay to be sad. Just remember to get back up again. I've been sad for a long time, and it got even worse when my mom passed away. I often feel very alone and lost in the world, like no one understands me, which is why I'm on this journey to understand myself. And I never really expected to have to get through my life without my mom. She died at a very young age for me, but while the world may be cruel and other people that I'm close to might not understand me as well as my mom did, I finally know that I'm at a point where I'm healing because I'm choosing to work on myself and figure this all out despite how hard it is. I'm getting better. I'm becoming the best version of myself, and it's going to take time. I'm going to be frustrated a lot, but the important thing is that I keep moving forward. Just like Bridget Jones, I lost someone very important to me, but I've also learned how important it is to love the people who are here as much as you possibly can. You have to let people in, live life on your own terms, and just truly work towards happiness. And I don't know exactly how I'll get where I want to go. I'm sure that I'll continue using a lot of examples from film and TV. It's just something that makes sense to me so far. I like to remind myself that no one really knows what they're doing. No one has a perfect answer on how to have a happy life as much as you know, self-help YouTubers and podcasters might like to make you believe they do. But I think as long as we look for those little hints along the way, little moments that speak to us, or even movie characters who inspire us, we can figure it out together. And yeah, I mean, thanks for joining me today. This was just like a lot of thought process, a lot of inspiration from one of my favorite silly movie characters. I know a lot of people would say it's not that deep, but I think that film is a really great reflection of the human experience, and we can pick up a lot of helpful things just to help us through our own journey. And so I'm just working on translating those little helpful things that I find here and there and trying to figure out how they can work for me and how they might work for you too. So thanks for joining me today on our little exploration of Bridget Jones. I really love these movies, and I always feel a little more optimistic when I watch them. The fourth one was a little sad, I can't lie, it got me a little bit with all the grief processing, but I don't think I've seen a better portrayal of losing a loved one in a hot minute. So recommend. Let me know if there are any TV or movie characters that you take inspiration from that you would like to emulate in one way or another. I would love to look into them. I plan on trying again. I'm not sure if I'll end up making more like essays like this where I just talk about what I've learned from trying to behave from a character, or if maybe I can try and do a couple of more like actual activities that they would do. Bridget Jones was just a tough one to start with, actually. Activity wise, like what does she do? I don't know. There's not really a Bridget Jones lifestyle, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I'm sure I'll see you in another video where I try to figure out what the hell to do with myself. And be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate you being here, especially if you made it to the end. This was a long one. Thank you for joining me on my little journey, and I hope I can be helpful to someone who's going through something similar. So we can do this together. That's the plan. All right, I'm out.